Well, former Texas Representative Will Hurd, now the latest candidate to toss his hat into the GOP race for president. 15 candidates in all at this point. You see them here in order of when they announce, but do any of them actually have a chance against President Trump?
Our next guest says not only Trump can beat Trump. Let's bring in our branding advisor, expert and author of Intra Branding, the Keystone of Corporate Agility, Marc Rudov. And here with us still is John Burnett. Welcome to both of you. Marc, I need to ask, how can any of these candidates change their brand to go up against President Donald Trump, who has such a strong one?
Not one of them can do it. Let me use an unfortunate example, the Titanic submersible. The reason that it imploded is because it was structurally unsound. It was made of carbon fiber. Jim Cameron, who made the Titanic movie and who's been down there 33 times, is one of the world's experts in submersible engineering. And he said this was doomed to failure. I look at each one of Trump's competitors, and not one of them is structurally sound to handle the world's pressure.
Okay, let's go through some, Marc. We get that. But you're the branding expert. A lot of people feel DeSantis has not done a good job over the past, well, 6 months, frankly. He was riding high in some polls. He was ahead of Trump. What did he do wrong, and what does he need to fix to have any chance at all to see his numbers go up?
Well, it's like launching a rocket. His inaugural launch on Twitter Spaces was a disaster.
Yeah.
So that's his launch. He fizzled out, and he's been going downhill ever since. Also, and I pointed this out before, he has no world experience, no global experience.
But I guess what I'm looking for is Trump has, let's make America great again. Now, that's what Reagan had. It worked for him as well. But with people, it seems like, hang on, Marc, hang on. It seems like DeSantis came out of the chute and they wanted to say that he was a winner, but you ask the average person what DeSantis doesn't, what he stands for, I bet you nobody could tell you.
Well, that's right. And the other thing, too, that, look, we have a world that is a tinderbox right now. Trump has the brains, the brawn, the world experience, and he's been personally tested. Ever since he came down the escalator, he's been attacked every single day. He's made of titanium. How many people could withstand that pressure? Not many. He can. None of the other competitors can do what Trump can do. He's a unique individual.
Okay,
so
well, if they were
about branding, because in branding, you have to be able to walk your talk. Right. I don't care what slogans you have.
Okay,
Nobody
we get how great Trump is. We get how great Trump is. We've seen that. I'm trying to get a feel as we see this, this field unfold. John, you're somebody that's worked, you were what, vice chair of the Republican Party in New York? You've been in this game for a very long time.
Still vice chair.
Yeah. I'm sorry?
Executive vice chair.
Okay, executive vice chair.
You forgot a title.
None of the messages are ringing true. What do they have to do?
To Marc's point, they're struggling to figure out which lane is not taken by Trump. Why? Because Trump, as we all know, even before he became president, every room that he steps in, all attention is on him. The same thing in politics. So whether you talk about the economy, whether you talk about coming against the woke culture, whether you talk about the international relations and things of that nature, it's hard for many of these candidates, some of which have household names. They're still struggling to try to figure out which lane do they own. Why? Because if they don't define it quickly, right, even with another lawsuit potentially coming out of Georgia, Trump might actually have this primary sewn up going into the general.
Let me point out something about the brand. A brand is an emotional connection that a company or a candidate has with his audience, okay? There's no emotional connection that the other candidates have. And you can't just have a slogan. So all this talk about branding is all about slogans. You have to be able to walk your talk. I don't care what you say, you have to be able to do it. And nobody has what Trump has. So people are scrambling. Ron DeSantis is a great governor.
But to your point, Marc, Trump not only has a connection emotionally to his base, he also connects with their heart. They actually love Trump.
That's
right?
exactly what I just said.
Right. Can I agree with you? Right? You're the only person that doesn't like when people agree with you.
Yeah, but you're always trying to teach me about branding, John.
Yeah, well, the difference, right? I'm going to give you another lesson. The difference is that the other candidates have to brand themselves, but with the lawsuits, Trump might have to slightly rebrand or reposition, another word that we like to use in marketing and branding. But I don't think the bar is not that high for Trump to rebrand or reposition. It's tremendously high for the other candidates.
I don't think he has to rebrand at all. Every time they attack him, his brand gets stronger because the people love him more. And that's what a brand is, emotional connection. I already said that, John, if you were listening. Now, look at Michael Jordan.
Well, he's going strong.
You don't need, we're going to.
Let's admit, he came prepared today.
Okay, Marc Rudov, thank you very much. And John Burnett, stick around if you will.